What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 to 11-ish heroes, Transcendence heroes that can be tenants for other heroes, and which ones provide the most attack if you literally 100% this hero to the max. We're talking about like a noble core, all the buffs. You don't need sublimation branches because any percentage buffs from the tree branches don't get counted in a tenant copy, but things like having a skin, having a noble core of origin, all those things add up and can give you the most powerful, impactful tenants to have. So two things you're going to notice here: there aren't going to be any assassins on this list, there aren't going to be any priests on this list. Technically, after the top 12-ish heroes that we're going to go over here today, once we go through those, just know that the priests are the next best, and then after that the assassins are at the bottom of the barrel, because yeah, you're looking for the most attack, and priests and assassins don't have the best attack multiplier for being a tenant. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start at, I think, like the bottom and work our way to the top, ending with the best tenant as far as attack values go. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let's jump right into it. So starting out at the bottom, we have Asmodel the Dauntless. Now this hero right here is a fan favorite of mine. However, as far as usages go, he doesn't have that many. He's basically coming in at spot number 11 on this list. While the number of attack values is not huge, we have about a swing of 700,000 attack possibilities. And one thing, Asmodel will be down towards the bottom. If we take a look at our own Asmodel here, there's one little saving caveat here now, is he does have a skin that does have attack, which is a nice thing to have, so keep that in mind, but he still kind of ranks down at the bottom. Next up at number 10, we have Star Swordsman Machman, another warrior hero. Most people use him as a damage dealer, but again, however, he does have a really nice skin that gives attack and HP. Overall, out of all the heroes, he is one of the more usable ones, especially if you can get an A- or higher copy with Giant Killer. You probably don't need to worry about him being a tenant because you're going to use him as a householder. However, he can be a good householder for a hero like Lord of Fear Aspen, but is he the best? No, and that's why he comes in at number 10. Next up at number 9 is Starwing Jara, the first mage on this list, and mages overall seem to be some of the best tenants out there. However, she does fall a little bit lower on this list. She does have another really great skin with attack and HP here, and overall she's going to be one of the more useful tenants you can possibly have, because even if you're just bringing her to Origin 5, she's providing a lot of extra stuff to your team in the form of survivability with crowd control. However, she is kind of turning into the crowd controller of old now that we have the newest Betty hero out. We'll have to see how she performs in the future. One thing to note is her core of origin is very, very useful, even if you're just using her as a tenant copy, so keep that in mind. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have Hyperspace Hunter Ilamok, probably the most useful tenant hero you can possibly have, mainly due to the fact that he can provide tons of shielding and survivability to your team just by having an ally block, whether they're a 5-star hero, an E5 hero, an Origin 5 hero, or heck, even a Destiny Transition 5 hero at this point. He is going to be providing a lot of support, and even just as a tenant, he can do a lot of stuff on the battlefield. He does not need to be a homeowner, however, he is going to be super duper strong. Coming in at number 7, we have probably everybody's favorite hero right now, Lord of Fear Aspen. Now, are you really ever going to use him as a tenant? I mean, maybe. Most likely he's going to be the householder, so this line might not matter too much. He does have some really cool skins, one of them with attack here, the other one with attack and HP, so there's a couple variety pieces, depending if you're going for damage or a tenant support hero. He can be useful as a support hero as well if you're not making him your main damage dealer. You probably should, but he has a chance to fear enemies, reduce their energy, do crazy amounts of damage, and if you are going to use him as a tenant, he's pretty much on the top 50% of Transcendence heroes that can be used as a tenant copy. Now, Scarlet Queen Halora is coming in at number 6, and she is probably Again, with Hyperspace Hunter Ilamok, one of the most useful tenants to have because she doesn't really matter if she's alive on the battlefield or not. The fact that her Royal Guard lasts the entire battle means that your team is getting that all damage dealt bonus. If you do progress her further into Destiny Transitions, her Noble Core, she does provide some really sweet healing between her core down here and her Destiny Transition ability. She is amazing to have as a tenant. She does not need to be a homeowner to be able to be useful on the battlefield, and she's in the top 6 as far as heroes that give the most attack value. Next up, coming in at number 5, we have Doom Terminator Vulcan, probably my favorite hero in the entire game, and his attack power really packs a punch. As you guys have seen, even on our Sun Devourer EOS account that we're playing on with Religion of Rage, he is even packing a punch as a tenant type hero. However, again, if you're building a Doom Terminator Vulcan, usually he's going to be your main damage dealer. But as you guys can see on our own account, we literally have a second Doom Terminator Vulcan just to be a pure tenant copy. So keep that in mind. Make sure you guys are using your flags appropriately as well, because that's a ton of power. But Doom Terminator Vulcan comes in at number 5. Mystic Fairy Freya, number 4. She is a very, very useful support hero to have on your team, especially in the mid to early game. Typically, she's a good 3rd to 4th Transcendence hero to build. She provides a lot of cool things like increased damage against poison enemies. She'll also give out Mirage Pollen and things like that that potentially let your team dodge attacks completely at 35%, which is really cool. Doesn't work on bosses, but the fact that she can be on the battlefield, be Origin 5, and take some hits means your team is going to survive. And on top of that, she has the 4th best attack value as a tenant. Now, this one at number 3, you probably would not have expected, but surprisingly enough, Star Alchemist Holmes Young has the 3rd best attack value as a tenant. Now, he is an interesting hero because he has that very, very powerful ability of Perceptual Disorder, basically nullifying the enemy's attack, which is really powerful. However, if you're not going for his Core of Origin, at least a single Core of Origin, he does lose some power because his Core of Origin works very well to put Perceptual Disorder out. It also helps heal your team and keep them alive. I would probably stay away from him unless you're on an account like ours where we have a ton of heroes that you can afford to make a tenant copy. But as far as attack values go, he comes in at number 3. Number 2 on the list comes in with Doppelganger Natalia. She is one of the newer heroes, and again, one of the tankiest heroes I have ever seen in Idle Heroes. The ability to give herself and the target with the highest attack a shield basically is absolutely insane. She has a way to keep herself alive the first time she drops under a certain percentage. She gives buffs to her teammates, and even as a tenant hero, sometimes I see her completely outlasting the main homeowner that's getting all the bonus stats. To boot, she has the 2nd best attack value we've ever seen. Next up, you might be like, wait a minute, you're missing a hero, Barry. Yeah, Therapist of Blood Betty. Now, big shout out to all the data miners out there, the ones that have been able to get the actual raw stat values from heroes and things like that from the data mine files. We probably won't be getting that anymore because the way DH Games is doing the data mining stuff is they're changing the format. The data mining bots aren't able to farm stuff as reliably as possible. So Therapist of Blood Betty is a current question mark until we can manually try it out. But again, it's really hard to tell because Treasure Train messes with these things. Awaken Copies messing with these things. They're really difficult. So she's going to be our honorable mention of a big question mark. Now, this leads us into the number 1 spot as far as the best attack value hero you can possibly have as a tenant. It goes to a mage of Sun Devourer EOS. Very strong for a Vulcan main carry hero. She's like the best, much better than G-Ster because, of course, G-Ster is an assassin. She is going to be rocking it, having the best attack value, and of course, she has some purpose after she dies, inflicting, energy oscillation and things like that. It can be pretty cool. But hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you guys think. We have EOS at the tippy top of this list. Let me know what other information you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll see you guys next time.